Hello, my Teaserking family. I first thank you, Titus, very, very much. Made Titus nice little money last weekend, and thank you for your uh, very generous tip. I deeply appreciate it. Um, that's why I do what I do. I'm trying to make you guys money, and very happy for Titus. Made a big chunk of money. And we'll do it again this week because I love a lot of the games again. Now I'm in the groove. Now, let's first look at gold. Gold 27.77. Silver 34.51. Gold just did nothing but go up. This is a Tuesday. I think there's certain days it goes, and we're expecting 3,000. Now I was listening to Alligator with some guy, and he actually was more like Alligator. What the hell is going on? And so he makes a comment. He was more like, yeah, gold's good and Keynesians are bad. So it sounded like him. So he goes, they were talking about BRICS, like why they didn't do the gold backed currency. Hey, Titus, thank you so much. I deeply appreciate it. And we're going to do it again this week. I love what you did with the straight bet and the teaser. So you did well on the teaser and then the straight bet, the exact same bet. And how did you get some of my picks? Is it just me going down the list, going, hey, I think this is an under and over? I don't mind you doing that. That's kind of why I'm trying to give you guys some hints there. But very well, way to stay away from the Baltimore Ravens and Ohio State, the two troublemakers last week. I ended up going 8-2 on my locks. I had Pittsburgh lock last night with Washington when they were the dog. When I knew Daniels was playing, I locked them. I did it live, and then the others, Green Bay over Denver was such an easy lock. Just Baltimore is the only loser I had in 2 weeks. I go 10-0 and 11-1, 21-1, and the only fucking loser is Baltimore. To Jameis Winston. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God. Anyway, I think I already posted 4 locks, which you should see. I assume you got the password and everything. So anyway, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And anything else you need, just let me know. If you're debating on a few teams, although the way you did it, you don't need my help. I'm very proud of you. I like when I teach and people pick it up and they listen. I notice a few like Nick and a few other guys aren't buying anymore because I taught them to so well that they can pick the games or get enough hints from me that they know the goodies. Anyway, so Alligator's sitting there and he's talking about gold and bricks, and he says Russia's ready to go to a gold standard. A lot of the other ones are kind of wanting to go, but a little bit afraid of the U.S. still. And then he said, but the U.S., there's $32 trillion outside of the U.S. that people have, mostly in stocks and real estate trusts and everything, that they are going to go, you know what, I better take my money out of the U.S. dollar. It's going to collapse. And that's what I try to tell you guys is it's the gold's going to go through the roof, but you're really getting out of the dollar as quick as you can because that's the troublemaker. So keep that in mind. Try to get out of the dollar because that is going to zero. It's already, I showed you the Reagan thing. I can show you to it again. In 1980, he's saying it was worth 49 cents of what it was in 1934. Well, it's worth nothing now, and we don't have any gold. We're fucked. So that's the key is just be careful. Now, I'm going to give you one lesson that I'm new to my job and I'm talking to the guy next to me. Good evening, SED Slots. How are you today? I've been red hot. All I can say is I'm 21-1 my last 2 weeks in the pros. And it's on the site. Go post it or ask Titus because he knows. So I go to the guy, he's an Indian, and I say, he's going to go buy silver because it's wedding season for the Indians, and they all buy. And I said to him, he says, but my wife wants to sell because it's high, and I think gold's going to come down. I says, why? Do you realize this is paper gold? This isn't physical gold. And their only reason it drops is the derivatives. So you got to understand it's price fixed, and therefore it's about to be blown up. And BRICS is going to keep buying gold, and all the central banks. So keep that in mind. Alligator thinks that the central banks want it, so we can't get it. But they're banks, of course they want it because it's the only real money. And so the guy's response to me was, well, it's I think it'll go down. I think it's too high. It's jumped up. And I says, you don't get it. It's going from paper to physical now. It's not going to go down. It's going to keep going. It's not anywhere near its value. The value is 20,000. This is being manipulated down. It's going to shoot through the roof, especially gold. Silver will follow, but still being manipulated. Gold's not being as manipulated. So keep that in mind. And the guy just didn't get it. And it was a Bobby shake my head moment. I'm like going, this guy, what do I tell this guy? He's a fucking idiot. Gold is not coming down. It's not even begun to go up. That's why it's 2778 right now, ready to hit 2800 by the time we wake up, because China's got it now. I am well, Professor. Thank you, SED. Thank you. Did you buy the picks? I don't buy picks. I give the picks. I don't buy picks. Nick gave me a big lock, and I ignored it. I did not like it. I do my picks. You hear my picks. You go to my site and you see them. I do not buy picks. Did Ty buy the picks? He did, yeah. Ty bought the picks. He can tell you all about them. He went 8 for 8 in a teaser and took the same 8 and put it in a straight bet. And, all my picks. So, yeah, he did. Okay, look at the history. You'll see what I did last week. Last 2 weeks in the pros, 21-1. But he hit it. He hit it really big. He had, because the 18 teaser was okay, but the 18 parlay with no teaser straight, he hit all 8 of those. Now I normally give teasers, so he did it on his own there. But he he nailed it, right? And we'll do it again this week. But yeah, he made a ton. It's up to him if he wants to tell you how much, but it was serious money, real serious. Anyway, so silver 34.50. We know it's way undervalued. It should start hitting the 45s. With the election coming up, we have BRICS trying to de-dollarize and break out of it. They're a little scared of the Americans, but they're going to let the Americans. They're going to let us fuck ourselves up because we're printing the money like it's water. It doesn't have a value now. It's worthless. And then they'll come out with the gold-backed currency. Well, we can't use the dollar anymore. Let's go gold. All right, let's go to football. Let's do. What do we? I guess we can do college. I did play one of the games tonight. Let's see. I had Florida International 9-44. New Mexico State's a Z team. Florida International is an E. Texas State 459 against Lou Lafayette. I did play that game. And Sam Houston keeps playing on these Tuesday night games is hysterical. So Sam is 10.5, 46 to L-Tech. Okay, that's tomorrow. So those 3 are already off. I apologize, but I was I'm just hectic with work, and then the pool. I had to cook because I had nothing to eat, so I made some chicken. And now it's better late than never. I was debating about doing it because I got some football to study for the pros. But anyway, so we got those 3. I played Texas State over was my play. It doesn't matter. It's already gone. Talking Tomorrow we got Liberty, 2.5, 63 to Jacksonville State, and that should be high scoring. We'll see how Liberty's defense plays. Western Kentucky 24-49 to Kennesaw State. I've already posted 2 locks this afternoon for this week. This is the 4th lock. Okay, I got them. And I love these locks. I looked at them and I go, that's it. I like to check for injuries, and that was it. All right. Well, thank you, SCD Slots. No, you should get a password. And okay, so you paid on PayPal. You then get a password. Then you go back to the site where it says this week's picks, and you type in the password, and then you get the teaser. So let me show you an example. So you should have got a password. If you didn't, I will send it to you. Very good customer service here. So for example, you'll see them across. If there's a lock, you'll see if it's pro or college. If it's a lock or not, then you'll see Denver was 9.5 down to 3.5. Green Bay over 48 down to 42. There's the amount of the wager and the amount of the units, and it won. I lost the fucking Baltimore game, but this is how they'll come across. Now here's college. So you see college, and then all the way through. And then if there's locks, I note them. And they're for more money. So the idea is you want to bet more on the locks or on these, the higher, so you see 11 units, 15 units, 25 units. You want to bet more on those games, Denver, Green Bay. What your bankroll is up to you. It's what you can afford to lose. Here's where you go to this week's football picks. And so you would go here, and then here's where you type in your password. So the password you would have gotten when you bought it. If you don't, I will give it to you. And you submit it, and then it takes you here, which depending on what you bought everything, so that's fine. Some people buy pros, some people buy college. So it's right there, and then it goes to the history tab. So I mark in. No, I'm honest there. I lost Baltimore. I say it. I lost Navy. I say it. I won Oregon, Miami. I say it also. Cincinnati and BYU. So I had a lot of good picks. It was a great week last week, but that's the idea. And so you'll get the password, and then I enter picks all the time. I am not your normal goofball salesman who wants to screw you out of your money and doesn't care if you win or lose. That's not me. I'm unique. So I will post. I posted tonight's game with the game on Saturday because of the stupid Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday games. Once we get away from them, then I'll post them. But what you do is then just keep, like, Thursday afternoon, check for if I played the Thursday game. I'll play with the Sunday game if it's pro or college. Check Friday afternoon. Usually by Thursday, I know what I want to do. I've studied the games. The pros usually are up Thursday, maybe Friday. Although the way I'm going, they might be up Thursday. I'm so hot that it's a joke. Um, Saturday morning, definitely check because I'm waiting on injuries. Like I told the class Sunday morning at about 11:30, if you watch the video or were here, I said if Jalen Daniels is playing, I'm locking Washington with Pittsburgh, and he was playing, and I locked Washington with Pittsburgh. I did that live, so everybody knew that was a lock, which is unusual, but because of Daniels. But basically, that's what you're. Uh, I might wait for an injury like this week for sure. Detroit Green Bay. I'm waiting on Jordan Love. If Jordan Love plays, that's going to be a big play. If he doesn't play, I got to figure out what to do with it. But if he plays, that's a big play. So if I know Saturday's playing, then I'll post it Saturday. But that's what I'm waiting for. I'm very interactive and very hands-on. So I might post a game, a pro game, a 4 o'clock game, or the Sunday night game. I might post it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So come back. I'll try to usually have most of the key games already posted in the pros by Friday night, probably Thursday night, and then the college. Most of them are up Thursday, some are Friday, and then if there's like is Cam Rising playing was always a thing. So keep that in mind. Well, no, it would give you the password when you bought. So I'll send you the password. No problem. Well, I mean, said Stotts, he wants to make a killing like you did, Titus. He's figured it out. So I will, in a little bit, I'll send Slots, I'll send you the password. Don't worry. I just want to talk pros. Titus is like, he's like 12 feet off the ground right now, I'm sure. I am, and I didn't win it, but I'm just so happy for Titus. I'm happy for my Teaserking family when they make big money like that. It just warms me up because that's what I'm doing it for. It's a real. I'm not like, I want to make some money selling the picks, but yeah, I'm much happier when he wins the shitload he won. Um, that's just amazing. No, it'll be like 5 or 6 letters and numbers, like TK77 or something like that. No, it's not. That's not the. Oh, is that your name? All right, all right, Stephanie. Let me get you the password. So you bought everything, right? And it's what 10/29. So it'll be the 11/4 week ending, and you bought the whole kit and caboodle. Oh, it's a nice password. This one. All right, hold on, everybody. I give Stephanie her password. Well, you're welcome, Titus. I'm glad that you pay attention and you figured it out. All right, Stephanie. So I say PW password is, and then I give you the password. All right. So let's get back to the odds. Just call me Professor. You don't have to be formal with me. Very laid back. All right. We're here to win. We're here to make big money. Let's see. Okay, Liberty 2.5, 63.5. That's tomorrow night. It's a good game. The A-team Liberty against the over Jacksonville State, Rich Rodriguez's team. We'll see how Liberty play. They just lost to like Tennessee State, who's terrible. Western Kentucky 24 and 49. We've got Tulane 16.55.5 to Charlotte. Tulane's an A team. Charlotte's a W team. Tulane 22 defense 34. They're a good team. They lost to Oklahoma 34-19. I don't know. They haven't been playing that well lately. Connecticut 7.5, 48.5. Connecticut's actually a B team for the first time in 5 years. Georgia State's a W team. 31 defense. UConn could get a win here, although it's hard to bet on UConn. South Florida 351. Yeah, we'll keep it. Total went down from 53 to 51. Both teams are E teams. 30 defense, South Florida, 28 for Florida Atlantic. Boise, 23.5, 57.5 to San Diego State, who's an under team. With the 24 defense, I would expect Gentry to run wild here. Got bottled up by Vegas last week, but at home he should. And San Diego State doesn't score. They're not going to have a lot. It's a little bit of a big number against San Diego State's defense, but I think after last week he'll come through. Memphis 7.5, 61.5. 7.5, 61.5, and it's Memphis is an A team. UTSA started scoring points lately. They got a good quarterback now in place of Frank Harris, and they're putting up a lot of points. 32 defense. Over under on the game 61.5. Definitely doable. The over. Eastern 53.5. I don't know. Toledo. Duh. Toledo's 8.5, 53.5 to Eastern Michigan, who couldn't beat fucking Akron last week. I can't believe I lost that. Toledo at 22, Eastern at 26 defense, with apparently not much of an offense. So Toledo, usually a good MAC team, although they lost last week. I don't know what's going on with the MAC. Northwestern, 1.5 and 46.5 to Purdue. Purdue's the W team. Northwestern an under team. So it's hard for them to be a road favorite as an under team. NC State, 9.5, 46.5 to Stanford. Stanford, a W team with 32 defense. NC State's is an over team with a 31 defense. Let's see who their quarterback is. Because I know McCall got hurt, our guy. C. Bailey, never heard of him, but he's starting to do well. Yeah, he's 6 touchdowns and two interceptions the last 3 games. NC State, Syracuse, and Wake. They did lose to Syracuse. They beat Wake, and they beat Cal 24-23. That's a very good win. Cal's a very good team. So maybe they're turning the corner, Stanford. The problem is, or no, NC State won. The problem is, like, Stanford's got to fly coast to coast, which is just, it's a joke. I mean, between the Big Ten and the ACC, you see all these West Coast teams flying east, and then we saw Miami go to Cal, and Cal had them by 20 points. They got lucky they won, but it just shows you when you got to do that coast to coast travel. This is football. You can't be this tired. This is the stupidest thing. Ohio State, 3.5, 45 to Penn State. Penn State's quarterback is injured. He's game time decision. Allard. Ohio State looked like shit against Nebraska. Maybe they were thinking ahead to Penn State. Wouldn't surprise me. I still think I think it's Indiana and Oregon are the best two teams here. So Ohio State just 3.5. They're both A teams, 12 defense, 14 defense. I mean, even if Ohio State plays as bad as they did last week, you're getting 2.5. They only lost at Oregon by 1. I think Ohio State's very live here, especially without the quarterback or he's hurt. He'll play. They'll shoot him up, but how good is he? He's not that good. VTech 453.5 to Syracuse. VTech is a B team, a 20 defense, pretty good. Syracuse and over 27, very inconsistent. Okay. Ole Miss and Arkansas, good game. Ole Miss 754 to Arkansas. They're both A teams. Arkansas played well. They killed somebody. They killed somebody last week. They killed Mississippi State 58-25. Now, granted, Mississippi State's not Ole Miss. Ole Miss, good defensive team. So they got an 11 defense. Arkansas at the 22. That's why you won on the under in the Ole Miss game last week, was because of their 11 defense. And they really aren't scoring a lot. Arkansas at the 22. I don't know. Arkansas, they could. This is a hard game because they could easily get up and beat them. They're very balanced and a very good offense. Ole Miss, I don't know. And they beat the shit teams, and then they get in against the better teams. They lost to Kentucky. It's like, really? Air Force and the Army. Army 22.5. We love the Army. 41.5 to the Air Force. Air Force is a Z team. Navy killed them. 27 defense. Army's just smoking with the 12 defense, undefeated. Go Army, beat Navy in this game. 22, knock it down to 16. Yeah. Buffalo, 1.5, 47.5 to Akron. Buffalo's a W team. They don't score a lot. A 29 defense. They're pretty shitty. Akron's the Z team, a 35 defense, and they beat Eastern Michigan last week. They're a home dog. I don't know what to do with them. They're still a Z team, but that's based on stat. Let's look at the last 4 games here and see what the fuck that's going on. Buffalo lost to Ohio 47-16, lost to Western 48-41, beat Toledo 30-15, and lost to Connecticut 47-3. How do you beat Toledo and lose the other games? And they beat Northern Illinois 23-20. What a mess. They scored 3 on Connecticut and 16 to Ohio, who's a good defensive team. And they lose. They put up 41 on Western, a 34-23. Let's see. Now, what's going on with Akron here? They actually beat Eastern 25-21, lose to Western, but scored 24-34, lose to Bowling Green, but scored 20-27, lose to Ohio 30-10, but Ohio's a very good defense. So is Miami of Ohio. Those are the 2 defensive teams. And then South Carolina lost 50-7. So let's throw that out. So look at the last 4. They're giving up 30 points and scoring about 22. So they're really not a Z team the last 4. Let's call them an E team. Let's call them what they are. Let's look at the quarterback. Buffalo, Agbona, that's their normal quarterback. And Finley is the Akron quarterback. Okay. I'm familiar with them. Bobby Bowe, what happened to LSU? I had LSU in 8.5 last week. Where were you? Where the hell were you? Titus had a big payday, Bobby Bowe. He goes 8 for 8 in a teaser and 8 for 8 in a straight bet. Made a fortune. I'll leave it to him to tell you the value if he wants to, but he listens. 8 for 8 on my picks. I loved it. It was goosebumps. Minnesota 345 to Illinois. Both are B teams. Minnesota 17 defense, Illinois at 20. Let's check the injury. If the quarterback, I don't know if he got hurt or not. Illinois. Nope, I guess not. So I think Illinois is a live dog here. They beat Michigan at home last week. They, where were they at? Oregon or something, and then here, look out. So pretty good. Yeah, they let me down. Big shake my head. Exactly. Very nice, Titus. Professors in me. And I see Sex Lots won too. Well, she's going to win this week. 18K, Bobby Bo. That's some serious fucking money that Titus won. Gave me a nice tip. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's nice if you win 18 grand. I get a little breadcrumbs, but I appreciate it. But Bobby, if you'd ever buy, you could make a fortune. I'm 21-1 in the pros the last 2 weeks. 21-1. Only Baltimore fucked me with Lamar. I know. I got to know better than Lamar. Titus is a good guy. He's a wonderful man. We're going to do it again this week. 8 for 8 again. All right. Miami 20.5, 54.5 to Duke. Duke's a very good team. I was watching the replay against SMU, who's a very strong team, and it was 21-all at the end of regular. They went to overtime, 21-all. Duke 18 defense, good quarterback. Malik Murphy from Texas is looking very sharp. Miami's said, I think they're wise to Miami. Cam Ward doesn't look as strong. And I just think they're, 20.5. I think that's a big number. I think it's a little too big against Duke. Duke, because of their defense. Total on the game's 54. Hard to go over with Duke's defense, but you could get there. I think it's a big number, the 20.5. My Vandy. Auburn 748 to Vandy. I don't want to jinx it. Vandy, I don't know. What do you want me to say? They beat Alabama, they beat Kentucky, and they had Texas. They lost by a field goal. What do you think? Auburn's going to kill them? Come on, guys, take Vandy there. I'll give you that one, but I don't want to give it to you free. I keep losing my free picks. I don't want to give it to you as a free pick. UAB 358 to Tulsa. UAB, not Auburn. Here we go. 358 to Tulsa. Tulsa, they're both W teams, both with 37 defenses. Total is 58. I don't know what to do with it. Probably it goes over because the defenses tend to be so bad that they score, but hard to go over with teams without offenses, but I've seen it when they have no defense, it does tend to get high. Old D, 2.5, 60.5 to App State. Old D's seems to be strong. They beat our Texas State last week. Where the hell did that come from? App State, no defense, good offense. Joey Aguilar, 36 defense for App State. Old D, lane 2.5 with the 25 defense. Really good pass defense. There we go. Big Nebraska against UCLA. Big Nebraska 6.5, 40.5. Let's give this as our free play. Let's go Nebraska free. This is just like the Colorado game. They're going to suffocating defense. They played Ohio State well. UCLA is terrible. Travel to Nebraska. Ethan Garbers is not very good. 29 defense. And Nebraska with an 18, but they played well again. And I look for them to play well here. So go Nebraska, even over UCLA, who's terrible this year. There, I feel better giving that one out instead of the Tulane one, or Tulane. No, Vanderbilt. You and Titus can load up on some more gold and silver. Well, that's the idea, Bobby Bill, before it's gone. Yeah, Prime's playing well. I did get lucky. I had Cincinnati in 12, and they lost by 11. Colorado's having signs of a defense. Next thing you know, they'll have a running game. But Prime's just, get sacked, don't throw the interceptions. It's like Little League. My son's going to be the pitcher. I love it. K-State, 12.5, 46 to Houston. K-State's the A team, 21 defense. Houston an under 22 defense. They're going back to Donovan Smith, who's terrible. 46 defense, 430 yards for K-State. You think they're a defensive team. They run that option with the quarterback, but he can throw, and Houston just isn't scoring. They did score a little. They did beat my Utah team without Cam Rising last week. It was 17-14. Utah's got a very strong defense. Keep that in mind. But so does Kansas State. It's a 21 defense. They had a good game with Kansas. That was my fifth lock last week, was the over Kansas State, which won easily. And here we've got them against Houston, 12.5. Keep it under a touchdown. I think we'll do fine. All right. Indiana, 7.5, 51.5 against Michigan State. We love Indiana. Even with the backup quarterback they roll. Let's check if their quarterback's playing. Rourke, questionable with the thumb. He got surgery on the thumb, but I was told he was still going to play. He was only going to be out a week, so he had the surgery. He's out last week, so he's really got 2 weeks to heal. The backup did fine. They just ran it down somebody's throat, and would they play Washington, I think? And they beat Washington 31-17. So even with the backup quarterback, they're beating Washington. They're the best team in the Big Ten. Very, very strong. Where did this go? All right. So Indy, I like Indy here. Michigan State fucked up against Michigan. They let a halfback pass option for a touchdown. That was my other lock. Michigan State plus 10.5. They lost by 7. Good work, boys. Should have won the game. They fucked. The guy missed a 20-yard field goal. Can you believe that? But Indiana's just so solid. They're the A. They're a 14 defense. Michigan State, 21 defense. Last time I went under in the Indiana-Nebraska game, it was a 63. So I'm not going to do that again. We'll see. Indiana, they're fine on the road, but we'll see. Michigan State, they could play well. How are they going to react after the Michigan game? All right. Marshall, 10.5, 47.5 to Lou Monroe. Marshall's an over team with the 26 defense, and Lou Monroe's an under team with the 24. I think it's a big number. Marshall laying 11. I don't know that they score that much. Lou Monroe, you always leery. They just don't score a lot. That's probably why they're the under with the 24 defense. I don't know. I don't got a feel on that game. UCF, 6.56 to Arizona. UCF's an over team with a 27 defense. Arizona's played like shit this year. They're an even team. Fafita's throwing interceptions all over the place. The new coach is over his head. 28 defense. I think UCF finally gets a win here. My friend went from BYU, works at the DOD in Orlando, and he actually works at the UCF offices. So he got tickets to the game. So he was rooting for BYU. I couldn't believe they were the dog last week. I don't know how I didn't lock BYU also, but I did play them in 2 teasers, BYU, and they won the game by 10, getting 8.5. Texas Tech, Iowa State. Iowa State 14-56. The game's at Iowa State. 14-56. Texas Tech, we know, over team, great running back, good quarterback, and no defense. 36 defense. Iowa State, Rocco Brecht, very good. 14 defense. They won at Iowa, and very strong defensively. Very good team, Iowa State, undefeated. Absolutely. Who knows? Maybe he will have his son stay for another season next year. Well, or he's going to coach the Raiders, and then he'll draft his son. They need a quarterback. Maybe that's the plan. Or else he will leave and go coach Dallas. And yeah, there we go. Anybody can replace Dak or Daniel Jones or half of these guys. How about our man, Jalen Daniels, little LSU for us on Sunday? I locked Washington because he was playing, and then he throws the Hail Mary. They got fucked out of 2 touchdowns. Tight end catches the ball, and then he goes to the ground, and the defender knocks it away, and they call it incomplete. Then he threw another touchdown pass, and they called the lineman for, too far downfield. It was 2 yards down in the middle of the field. The ball went to the left sidelines. What are you calling? I mean, it's incredibly. The refs are just fucking the game up with these stupid penalties. And notice, every time there's a touchdown, there's a flag, just to add a little drama into it. Oh, is it a touchdown or not? But if you watch the quarterback, you know it's a touchdown when they all start celebrating and walking, off the field. I guess it's probably on the defense. Yeah, I like that little BYU team this year. They have come through for me a few times. Yeah. LSU Bama game next week will be critical for playoff hopes. And Alabama has no pass defense. But after watching LSU against A&M, I don't know what the fuck to think anymore. How did they let that? It was 17-7 LSU. I'm getting like 10 points. I'm all okay, or 8 points. I'm like, that's a winner. And then the guy starts throwing picks. What was going on there? Hell yeah, Jaden is the man. They are loving him in Washington. I'm loving him too because I'm locking him right and left. You got to stay with the LSU guys. He even beat Joe Burrow. I was a little depressed there. Caleb thought he had the win, and then Caleb did shit. They didn't win because of Caleb. He threw for 120 yards. Nothing, no touchdowns. All he did is now he's running around looking for space to make a 5-yard gain. He doesn't even look to pass anymore because they're all over him. He's terrible. Even now they're saying, yeah, maybe they should have taken Jalen Daniels number 1, not Caleb. Yeah, I think we said that too, didn't we? Before we already knew Caleb sucks. All right, UTEP 351.5 to Middle Tennessee. UTEP's a Z team. Middle Tennessee's a Z team. UTEP 351. Both defenses suck. I don't know. What do you do with the Z teams when they play each other? All right, good game here. Georgia 16-52 to Florida. Florida is not the team that played Miami. They looked very good. Played Tennessee very tough. Georgia has been scoring. They have 17 defense. You wouldn't guess it. Florida with a 23 defense. I'm going to play this game in a very unique way that you just can't see it. But Florida is going to give them a game. There's no question about it. Georgia just isn't Georgia. Their defense isn't suffocating. I do like this game, but not in the way you would ever imagine. All right. Oregon 15-45.5 to Michigan. There's still a 14.5 you can get. Oregon's the 8 team, the 15 defense. Dylan Gabriel looks great. They always find a way. Michigan with no quarterback. The defense is going to get torched in this game. Go Oregon. Lay 8.5. I mean, I don't know how they don't win by 20 here. Michigan ain't that good. They have no quarterback. Oregon's going to be all over them, and they're going to want to put up a big number, I think, on them. North Carolina, 2.5, 51 to Florida State. Florida State's terrible. This is God punishing them for not playing in the bowl game. North Carolina's over team, 2.5, 28 defense. Florida State's a W, but their defense isn't there. It's a 26 defense. The quarterback sucks. They brought in the freshman. All he did was run around. He didn't complete a pass. He just go back and then run. It was hysterical. They actually scored a little on Miami. Miami just toyed with them, though. So I don't know. I don't like North Carolina as a road favorite. Florida State's terrible. I can't play this game. Coastal Carolina, 4.5, 54 to Troy. Where's Coastal? Coastal's an over team with a 32 defense. Troy's a W with the 28 defense. Coastal should have a big game here. New Mexico, 7.5, 61 to Wyoming. We've got Wyoming's the Z team with a 30 defense. The only problem is New Mexico is an over team with a 40 defense. I got to believe New Mexico wins at home. They did lose last week to Colorado State, who's got a lot better, but they're just too explosive, New Mexico, and Wyoming just terrible. Navy and Rice. Go Navy. Navy, 11, 51.5 over Rice. Navy's an A team with a 24 defense. Rice is an E team with a 25. Not very good. Look for Navy all over Rice. As they used to say when I was a kid, they fry rice. Texas fries rice was the big thing when I was getting the newsletters. Mississippi State, 18, 59.5 to UMass. Now, Old Mississippi State changed quarterbacks to Martin Van Buren, is the guy's name. On over team with the 36 defense. UMass is a Z team with the 30. If Mississippi State doesn't win this game by 30, then I don't know what to think. I don't know what they're doing because they have been showing offense. They don't have a defense, but you're playing UMass. You don't really need one. They need a win. They're at home against UMass. Look what Missouri killed them. Why is UMass playing SEC teams is the question. Good game. Arizona State, 2.5, 58.5 to Oak State. Oak State's a home dog. Arizona State's an even team. Let's see if their quarterback is back. Levitt is, yes, he's probable with the rib, so he should be playing. Oak State. Ollie Gordon's questionable with the knee, but he hasn't really done much. He'll play. He's Jim Brown. So at the quarterback back, interesting. 23 defense, Arizona State, 30 for Oak State. They gave us our over last week. We thank them very much against Baylor. So there's the big four in the Big 12. Oak State, Baylor, Texas Tech, and Texas Christian just light it up. It's like they're playing basketball. Over under 57.5. I think that's doable. Fresno State, 13.5, 48.5 to Hawaii. I don't know. Mikey Keene's not having a good year. A lot of interceptions. 25 defense, Fresno State, 22 for Hawaii. Hawaii's an under team. They haven't scored. I don't know what's wrong with them. Fresno State, we know is good, and they're good. They finally blew out San Jose State last week. Look for Fresno State maybe to turn it on here. Let me make a note there. Louisville, Clemson. Clemson, 10.5, 63. 62, up from 61. Clemson, since the Georgia game, they got three, have put up like 50 points a game. Louisville, they played Notre Dame 31-24. They played somebody else, I think, another good game. And it was SMU, they played a good game. 25 defense. They're both A teams, both good quarterbacks. Louisville's got Shaw, a Texas Tech quarterback, and Clemson's got Klubnak, who's been playing very well. So look for the points. Iowa 341 to Wisconsin. I have no idea. Wisconsin got killed by Penn State at home after they started to play well. Iowa is like Heckle and Jekyll. I mean, at home they win, on the road they beat Washington by 30 at home, go to Michigan State and lose. What do you do with this team? So I think they're at home, they'll probably win. They're laying 3. Both teams have 19 defenses. A&M 2.5, 44.5. My email was junk folder. Okay, you got it. Yeah, not normally. Normally it goes to the inbox or the Teaserking box. A&M 2.5, 44.5. I don't know. A&M beat Bobby's team. It's just hard to play them. South Carolina's been playing well. Both teams are A teams. Both teams have 18 defenses. It should be a tease the dog game, I think. A&M, good at home, and then they go on the road. South Carolina has been playing well. Played Alabama and lost by 2 or 4 or something. South Alabama 659.5 to Georgia Southern. They're both over teams. Georgia Southern with 31 defense. South Alabama with the 25 defense. USC Washington. USC's 2.5, 55.5. Can somebody explain why they're favorite here? They can't win every time they go on the road. They lost to Minnesota. They lost to Michigan. They lost to Maryland. Washington's a pretty good home team. Again, it's all the travel. Washington's a home dog. Oy. All right. Now, there's only 4 games on the second sheet. I normally have like 10 teams. I only got 4. And I don't have a game after 8. Maybe it's the World Series. Tennessee 16, 45.5 to Kentucky. Kentucky's an under team with a 20 defense. Tennessee's an A team with an 11 defense. Colorado State 1.5, 45.5 to Nevada. Colorado State a 25 defense, Nevada 28. Again, is Nevada's quarterback playing is the key here. Lewis. If he plays, Nevada's a live dog. They just beat Oregon State, but with the quarterback. Last week they didn't have him. He didn't play. And Hawaii beat the hell out of him. Pitt and SMU, very good game. SMU 7.5, 58.5. The game's at SMU. They're both A teams, 22 defenses. Both get about 4.25 offense. SMU has only lost once to BYU, 18-15. Pitt's undefeated. I say this is a tease the A team dog. And then last but not least, Baylor and TCU, 3 and 64.5. What can I say? Over against over. Look for a whole lot of points here, just like last week. All right, that is our look at college. Quick look at the NFL. Or as Jerry Glanville would say, not for long. If you rough like that. So not as many college, some good games. The games you got to be careful with is Indiana at Michigan State. They beat Iowa. If I play it, it's going to be small. Not, it's like, no, let's look for the Z teams. Keep it simple, stupid. Again, the two acronyms I go with is KISS, keep it simple, stupid, and JIFTY, just fucking do it. I love that one. All right. Thursday night, we got the JETS's 1.5, 242 over Houston. I haven't filled in the blanks yet. I got to do that. So I got to pull in the stats and then re-rank it. I've ranked most of the teams. So I got Houston as an E team and the Jets as an under team. Aaron Rodgers, I think it's the receivers suck and the defense is not good. You've gotten rid of the coach and they lost to fucking New England with Brissett. I mean, what a joke. Do I think? No, I don't think LSU's done it all. I think they'll come back strong. Who do they play this week? I don't think they play this week. You said they got Alabama next week, so they probably got a bye. I don't think they're done. They just ran into a tough defense. This is what I warned you about. These teams like LSU, Alabama, if they go up against a real tough defense, they're going to struggle. Like what Alabama, what the Georgia barely beat Kentucky with a great defense. And Alabama, they lost to Vandy with the good out, but they lost to Tennessee, who has a real strong defense. Hey, Ryan, how are you? No, he hit it. He hit my 8-team teaser, and then he hit my 8-team straight. So he hit an 8-team straight where he played the teaser without the teaser, right? So he hits the 8-team teaser, wins only like $1,000, and then he comes back and hits the 18 parlay, and he fucking nailed it. And yeah, so that's why sometimes you can play. Well, as hot as I am, you should just play my pros as many games as I give out there. And the only thing that got us was Baltimore. I love the Pitt game yesterday. It was nice that they actually won, although they tried hard to make it stressful on me. 26-18, we got the game even. Just fucking end the game already. So finally, Daniel Jones was Daniel Jones, and through the what is with these prevent defenses with the 8-point lead? They're like, fuck, can't you put it out there? I'll show you the ticket. I don't think you'd mind. Here's his ticket. It's a little bit sketchy, but all W's. And there's 17,279, and he won 1,000 on the other 18 teaser. So he bet $100 to win 17,279. We have to do a little bit more 8-team teasering. William Hill, yeah, they're the best casino. So he makes the same bet in teasers. The first one was not with teasers. Again, he bets 100, wins 1,000 for an 18 teaser. We have to go to William Hill. I got 18 teasers coming to my ears every week. That's 18 dimes. I think you got the password, Stephanie, right? I'll give it to you one more time, but I thought you said you got it. It junk mailed. Hopefully now it'll go in the inbox. So there it is. An 8 fucking team teaser. Now we're going to hit it again this week. I promise. It's amazing. Only an 18 teaser and you make 17. Well, no, it's an 18 straight. That shows you how hard it is. The real odds probably are like 25,000 to 1. You got 17,000. It's probably like 40,000 to 1 to hit an 18 parlay like that. Yeah, I am, aren't I? Pros, man, 21-1. 10-0. We followed up with 11-1. 4 out of my 5 locked. The only loser I had was Lamar. This is why I get pissed at Lamar. The only loser. Green Bay over. We hit Daniels. We hit Pittsburgh. We hit Denver. Those are the 4 locks that won everything. Mahomes wins for us. Burrow goes over with Philly. San Diego under every fucking week with that defense. I mean, they're really not hard picks. Buffalo over, and that was, and I couldn't. I would have played Atlanta, Tampa, but Tampa didn't have any receivers, and it still went over. Unbelievable. Well, that's why we bet, Bobby, to hit one of those for $100, and that's where my skill comes in, and that's why But that's why I do it, to make you money. Is just, it's my slogan, but it's not really my. It's really what I feel is. I'm so happy for Titus. That's kind of my ego going. Yeah, I did it, but it was good for him. Lamar is not reliable. Those dumb analysts better never compare him to my boy Mahomes. He can't even hold Mahomes' towel. He disappears. If you notice his throwing action, he like shot puts the ball. He doesn't really throw the ball like Mahomes. So yeah, I mean, but we keep betting Mahomes. It's a joke. They were laying 8 to Oakland. I get to lay 2 with Mahomes. It's like he's going to win the game at the end, which is what he did. And Burrow goes over because they have no defense. Baltimore goes over every 5. I can't believe they went over against Winston. Tampa's an over team, and then you got your San Diego's and your Denver who are under. But I locked Denver because they're playing Carolina, and Bryce Young was quarterbacking. There was absolutely no way Carolina could win that game. That was a beautiful, and it was just I was laying 9.5, so we cut it to 3.5. What a joke! I think Titus had that game, but I mean it's absolutely the NFL's so bad right now. That's why you take advantage of Mahomes or good defenses or good offenses. A lot of nobody's tackling, I notice. In the Baltimore-Cleveland game, Baltimore didn't tackle. I'm watching Winston, no pressure, boom, boom, boom. Guys are wide open. I'm thinking this smells. That spread went from 8.5 to 7 Sunday. That was a fixed game, I guarantee it. How the fuck could they lose that game? I think there was another fixed game was the Denver Carolina went over. All of a sudden, Bryce Young gets 14 points to go over 42. But I teased it under, so I was good. But we had Denver. But I think that one smelled like a fix. I would say the Pittsburgh game was a fix, except for they still won. They won by more than 6. All right. So this is Thursday night. The JETSs are 242 to Houston. I got to fill it in. The receivers are out for Houston. Stephon Diggs is out. The other guy's out. But it doesn't matter because there's so many. That's why I laugh when these teams take these receivers in the first round. You can get the guys from Texas Tech and TCU in the 5th round, and that's what you see. Look at Tampa had backups, and San Francisco didn't bother them a bit. The guys out there can catch. They're pros. So that's the key. Is I'm not that concerned that the receivers get hurt. Anyway, I don't know. The Jets, they're such in just here's where you can't bet them because the coach is gone, the offensive coordinator's gone, Aaron Rodgers. Who knows what he's a psycho anyway. He's like Psycho Sid, the wrestler, or the Iron Sheik. He's nuts. Buffalo 650 to Miami. Oh, it's a big game. Well, we know Tay isn't going to show up. Uh, there's no way Miami can be competitive in this game. It's a big game, and they stink. Atlanta 2.5, 52 to Dallas. Dallas W team. Dax pathetic. Atlanta E team. Cousins looks okay. I still wait for Penix. He's much better than Cousins. Do we get an over in the game? I don't know. I got to look at my stats. I think Dallas is pretty weak defensively. Micah Parsons, I think he played last week, but look at it. They give up 50 points to New Orleans. They give up 50 points to the Lions, 30 something to Frisco, who had no receivers. Their coach sucks. Dak sucks. Maybe you get over here. What do you do with this game? New Orleans 743.5 to Carolina. The question's going to be this total went down to 43.5. Carolina, I know, is a 35 defense. The problem is New Orleans. Let's check injuries, although it's probably too early. Who's the quarterback? Spencer Rattler. Well, who cares? Carr, now on the 24th, he was doubtful with an oblique. We got to wait for the new injuries. These aren't going to help us. Depending on who we got, if we got Rattler against Young, right, is Andy Dalton going to play? So depending if it's Carr and Dalton, it's an over. And if we get Rattler against Young, it's hard to go under because Carolina's defense sucks. How do you bet on Rattler? Oh, this is such a tough one. Joe Burrow, minus 746.5 to Oakland. Where is this game? All right. Joe Burrow, all right, 45.5. Oakland, the W team. Mints, they lost. Devontae Adams is gone. They got Minshew. Crosby's still there. Terrible defense. They got like a 25 defense. Cincinnati, Joe Burrow. They have no defense, but they got Joe Burrow and Chase. They got our LSU boys. 45.5. Can Oakland get us enough points to go over? Because we know Cincy's going to put up 30 on this defense. We will see. Denver, Baltimore. I don't understand this line. Baltimore 9.5, 45.5. Are you kidding me? Not only does Denver got Knicks and he's really playing well, but they got the best defense and they got a 14 defense. I think San Diego's 13, Denver's 14. Kansas City's in for some messes when they play those two teams. I don't understand the points. 9.5. This is the free play. We're going Denver. Denver and 15.5. You got to be kidding me. That's way too much. We see Baltimore doesn't have a defense. We know how good Denver's is. I don't understand this line. My line was Baltimore 7, but that was what I knew it would be. Washington 3.5, 43.5 to the Giants. Washington's an 18. The Giants are an under. Again, I got to fill in the stats. I'll do that as soon as I'm done here. 3.5, 43. How does Washington not win this game? Are you kidding me? We get 2.5 with Daniels, the way they're playing, the way he's throwing. With bad ribs, he threw the ball, 55 yards for the final touchdown? And the Bears have a good defense. I don't know how good the Giants is. And Washington, I'll tell you, Washington's getting a good defense. Their defense is really strong, and they're turning into a complete team here. They're an A team now, and they got the best quarterback besides Mahomes and Burrow. They got the second best LSU quarterback. San Diego, Cleveland. San Diego 242.5. To Cleveland. Cleveland, Winston. You think he's gonna pull shit out of his ass again? San Diego, 242. You know, go San Diego. Did died professor? You knew that he died about 2 months. Yeah, I heard something about it. I can't stand Cousins. Penix should replace him. I agree. Penix is so much better, especially in big games where we know Cousins chokes. Titus, I'm licking my chops for this weekend. Yeah, I can't wait either. But I got to stay disciplined. I can't just pick pros um, like that guy did on Two for the Money with Al Pacino, where he goes like 12-0, and then he gets cocky, and then he goes 2-20 the next 3 weeks. No, I don't do that. I keep very. This is the hardest part is when you have a big win to keep calm and you know keep picking the way you've been picking. And I think I got that. I purchased the professor earlier tonight. Super excited. Well, good luck for you, Stephanie. Just now, if you want to win like Titus, you got to bet $100 on an 8 team straight play. I do teasers, but just take the teasers, take them off. But yeah, I've been doing this for what 30 years. Bobby's been with me what 3-4 years. Titus. So these guys, they know how good I get, and if you're a handicapper and you got guys for 5 years, 10 years, you must do something right because why would they stick with you if you lost the money, right? I prefer to say Earl Anthony, not John Anthony, but we'll go John Anthony. Yeah, I know, I got you, but I was just watching it, and I can only watch like the first 3 quarters. I can't watch the ending; it's so stupid. He quits. Why does he quit? He's so good at it. Why does he quit? But I do like when the guy pisses on him because he had a bunch of losers. That was good. Good revenge there. But yeah, and I keep waiting for Al Pacino to leave an envelope at my door, going, "Yeah, how much do you want to come to me?" Yeah, I'd want 1 million. Oh, you can have everybody can have the turn this week. That's the beauty of it. I give the picks, and everybody can clean up. I used to like that man because it gets me in the mood for waging football. Wagering. Yeah, I got it. Movie, not that man. Well, you're welcome, Stephanie. Now, have you played teasers before? This is a unique art, teasers. I'm trying to avoid the loser. I'll pick 10 games. I'll have one or two losers, and I'm trying to weed them out. Like Baltimore last week, you couldn't see it coming. I normally play Baltimore over, but with Winston, who hadn't played in 2 or 3 years, and he sucked anyway, they made Winston look like a superstar. Three touchdown passes. Did he get sacked? Where was the defense? I mean, I couldn't believe what I was watching. So yeah, that was that was the only loser. 11-1, right? New England, Tennessee. Why are they even playing this game? Tennessee 3.5, 38 to New England. I mean, neither of these teams could win a game in the SEC. Tennessee's an under with a 3D. They're an under. I don't know their defense. New England's a Z team with the spread's 338. Is Brissett quarterbacking? You got a better chance with Brissett than you do with Drake May. Tennessee, you got Mason Rudolph was lighting up Detroit. Really? I don't know how Detroit won. Well, they got a kickoff return and a punt return and a pick six or something. So they're better at home, Detroit. They're going to struggle a little against Green Bay. I mean, I used to like watching that movie leading up to football season because it got me in the. Yeah, I get it, Bubby. It's just like this class. It makes the football weekend more fun when coming to class. Well, it's the one class we enjoy. That's why I just started this new job, and it's like, but this is the job I want, not that job. It's funny, I noticed you go into the office and there's like a locked door and you got to go through the door and then you go up to your desk. It's like you're in fucking prison going to work because you got to have a badge to go through the door, then it's locked behind you, and then you're trapped there from like 8 to 5 or 4:30 or something. You can't leave. You can go eat and you can go pee, but you can't leave. You don't have any freedom. I guess if I had to go to the bank or something, but it's crazy. That's what I thought of. I said I like so much better this life where I'm free. I can teach the class, teach economics, go to the pool, go make a steak. It's so much better than a real job where you're there. But well, if I keep hitting for Titus, I won't have to work either. Good man, the Titus. It's remote, but I just got my computer today, so it's 3 days in the office, 2 days remote. Teneco, they make auto parts and good pay. And that's senior financial analyst. That's what I do. That's analyzing. I love that. Pay for the picks. It's worth it. Thank you, Stephanie. It just started. I interviewed Thursday and I got the job 10 minutes after the interview. And then they rushed me to start Monday, even though I didn't have my computer. No, it's 3 days in the office, 2 days remote. Problem is then it's close to the pool, so I've been getting off and going to the pool. And today I had to cook chicken. I ran out of food basically. Yeah, it's a hybrid position. So I got to get my feet wet before I can start working remote. But otherwise, it's what I enjoy to do. Besides, I'd rather do this in economics. Tennessee 3. Okay, 3. We talked about that. Philly 7.5, 46 to Jacksonville. Is Philly for real? Jacksonville's a W team. Trevor Lawrence sucks. But I did lock the over last week, and they did a 57 even with Willis. I don't know. Jordan Love throwing interceptions. You can't stay healthy. I don't know about that guy. Philly, they were an under team. They're probably more like a B team now. Their defense, they're starting to play the Georgia guys and lights out. We'll see about this game. Arizona 1 and 44.5 to the Bears. Well, Caleb, you can't bet on. Kyler Murray, he came back and beat Miami. But the Bears have a very good defense here. Very strong, and Caleb can't do shit. Arizona, I don't think Kyler Murray is going to do much against this defense. So, they did shut Washington. They're a very strong defensive team. They're probably more of an under team. They've been beaten up on. They beat Carolina and they beat Jacksonville. Oh, all of a sudden Caleb's a superstar. Then he plays Washington. He gets 120 yards and no touchdowns. All right, Detroit, Green Bay. Detroit 3.5, 48.5. This game we are waiting on Jordan Love. He's healthy. It's a lock. If he's not healthy, I got to figure out what to do then. I got to figure out my plan B, as the professor always does, a plan B. But 8-team Detroit. However, Mason Rudolph lit him up. Mason fucking Rudolph. So if Love play, I don't know if I can trust Malik Willis, but probably. Though Detroit's defense is so bad. The Rams 1.5, 48.5. Oh, Seattle was favored. The Rams are now favored. Total stayed. The Rams have their receivers back, Cooper Kupp and Pukanuka. Look out for them. The whole division sucks. Arizona, LA, Arizona, Frisco, and Seattle are 4-4, and the Rams are 3-4. What a fucked up division that is. They're supposed to be powerhouse, but they got so many injuries because they don't play anybody in the preseason. This is what it is. Everybody's getting hurt because they're not in shape because they didn't play in the preseason. Bunch of fucking idiots. LA 1.5. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see if DK Metcalf plays. But with Pukanuka, and I trust Stafford. We'll see. I liked it better when Seattle was favored. Minnesota 546.5 to Indy, and we know that whatchamacallit is the quarterback. Richardson. Did you hear Richardson? He plays 3 plays and taps out and says, I'm tired and I can't play. And he sits out. And in came Flacco. So you got Flacco against Darnell, and should be fun there. KC, Tampa Bay, Mahomes. Oh, hurry up. It's 8.5, 45.5. I got an 8.5. I'm so excited. And 45 to Tampa. Tampa with no defense. Mahomes is going to light them up. You got no receivers for Tampa, and you got a killer defense for KC. So enough said there. And then we go right to our lock. So next week, Cincinnati, Baltimore, 50. Bet that as soon as you can. Bet over. Take the over in the Cincinnati, Baltimore Thursday night game. Well, we got to wait in case somebody gets hurt this weekend. So Sunday night after they play, as long as Burrow and Chase survive and Lamar survives and Henry, bet your grandmother on the over in this game. This is a lock over. They'll be in the 70s. Richardson is he's already, I don't know how they can play him again. How do you get tired? Oh, I ran the ball 3 times. I'm tired. I'm taking myself out. This is not a guy that wants to play football. Look at the hockey players. They break their arms. They're out there. Okay, they miss a shift. They lose 6 teeth. They miss a shift as soon as the doctor can put them back in. They love to play hockey. This is a man that doesn't love to play football. What the fuck's he doing out there? And this idiot owner signs him because he's athletic, but he's not a quarterback. He's not a football player. Unbelievable. What a fucking idiot this Indy owner is. Of course, I said not to draft him, right? I said, what the fuck was he drafted for? Anyway, apparently the car aching staff got upset after Richardson told them that he was tired and he needed a break on Sunday. I never heard a professional player tell his coach that he's tired, especially a football player who's in prime shape. You baseball players can get a little bit heavy, like Mark McGwire, I'm sure wasn't in great shape. But yeah, I mean, I've never heard. Look at Aaron Rodgers, he's 40. Tom Brady was 45. You think he was always ready to go? Yeah, Ryan. Oh, okay, nice. I don't know what you're referring to. Are you referring to Cincy, Baltimore? Anyway, so I think you had a nice week too, Ryan, didn't you? I think you did. See, this is how I get revenge because you said I had a 44% win that one week. So I come back with 195. All right, so that's the pros. We got to watch the injuries. I got to do my update on my stats. Let's take a look at gold. Did gold hit 2,800 yet? 2778. Go China. Beat Navy. 2778. We are so close to 28. 3441. So I was telling the story, Bobby, about this. I'm new at work, so of course I start talking gold. And one guy says, well, my wife's got gold. She's thinking of selling it. I says, why? Why, it's too high. It's going to come down. I go, there's no way in the world it's coming down. There's no way in the world it's high. This is a very low price for gold, especially with the bricks and everybody, but the demand for gold's forcing the price up. There's no way this goes down. There's no way it's, he didn't understand the price fixing part of it. I'm thinking, who am I working with here? Another idiot. Don't these people, these all educated people, are so fucking stupid when it comes to money? If you understood this was price fixed by JP Morgan, you would understand it's so undervalued because every time it went up, it had to come back down. They didn't let it run to where it should be, which is about 20 grand. And anyway, silver's 34. What's silver? 34, what? 34.40. Look for the $45 to come soon. It broke 32.75 according to Mark McGuire. We're supposed to get 45. Where is it, Mark? Anyway, BRICS has not announced that there is a gold-backed currency coming, obviously, and they have all the gold. They got about 20,000 ounces for Russia and 60,000 ounces for China. India's got a little, but look for it to just go. And really, they're not trying to replace the dollar. They are trying to just compete with the dollar, even though they know that the dollar can't compete with gold, and that's what'll go on. But that's what's happening there. So, Bobby, Luke's getting really ready for our Capitol Grill dinner at 3,000. We're at 2,800. We are packing up for dinner soon. Are we going to Tampa or are we going to Pittsburgh? Because Luke's got a Capitol Grill there. I got a Capitol Grill here. You got a Capitol Grill there. So we'll have to figure out which Capitol Grill. And now we can invite Titus. Titus can pick up the tab there. Yeah, we'll have to invite Titus to come to Capitol Grill with us. He can pick up the check. Titus has got to be 12 feet in the air right now. I mean, I remember when I was a kid in the 70s, I won $1,700 on a Saturday. Now this is in the 70s when that was real money, and I hit every game. And I was up $1,700 just on the Saturday. Forget the Sunday. My feet never touched the ground. I was working at the grocery store, and I'm going through the games, winner, 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 and it was just like unbelievable. And your feet don't touch the ground for a week. I mean, unbelievable. Because that's when money was real in the 70s. Now you win 1,700, it's not a big deal, but now you got to win 17,000. Anyway, so I've already put out 2 college lock, 4 plays college lock. And I played tonight's game. I got to check that score. I went over on the, what was it? Texas State, Lou Lafayette over 53, or might have been 52. We know Texas State can score and Lou Lafayette can score. So I'm hoping I get that, but I don't like these Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday games. I don't want to be bothered. It was enough yesterday biting my nails. Steelers on the 5th lock, locked with Washington, and I was nervous with that one. And I turned it on at 11 just to check the score, and they're up 26-18 with like a minute left. Like the fucking game's still on. Like it should be over by now. And then finally through the interception, I could go to sleep. A happy camper, 11-1. I didn't want to lose another lock. They're so nervous because I want to win it for you guys. Anyway, so that's what we got. Your free pick, take Denver and 15.5 against Baltimore, for Christ's sake. And your free, uh, what was your free? Well, I don't know what it was. Here it is. Nebraska even against UCLA is your free college game. I like that one a lot. I've never been a fan of Flacco. Neither have I. I never thought he was any good. He had that one game against Denver, was it? Yes, especially when it's that last game of a teaser or parlay, it keeps you at the edge of your seat. Well, and it's Monday. As good as I was 10-1 or 11-1 on Sunday. I hit Denver twice. I hit them laying 3.5, and then I wanted to play Arizona, but I didn't want to play Denver 3 times, so I took the Denver game under. So I even won that one. But Sunday's got a feel, and you're winning all the games Sunday, and then here comes Monday night, and you're like, motherfucker, I got nothing left. I just want to relax. That's why I don't play a lot of the Thursday games. I don't need the stress. Very few do I play. Plus the teams are not. It's Thursday. What do we got? The Jets in Houston. I mean, Houston's got to travel on a short week. You don't know what you're getting. Especially with Diggs out and the other receivers out. You got Stroud, who's anyway, and then the JETSs don't know who's their coach. So it's really difficult there. Anyway, that's football. So we'll look at the pros much more. Now I'll probably, if I play the Thursday game, I'll probably post it Thursday afternoon, but I don't know. But I'll probably post the Sunday games once I get see the pros. I got to wait for the injuries, which I think come out tomorrow. Now I know I got Flacco, but I don't know what I got in some of these games. Daniel's okay. Detroit, Green Bay, I need love. San Diego, Cleveland. Is it Winston again? And things like that. Otherwise, this is becoming it's becoming very clear now. Now I've got a firm read of the teams. As I say, you almost have to take the name out and just look at what are they. Well, this is an over team. And you don't, it's Baltimore, but you don't know it's Baltimore. It's an over team, it's an under team, they're an A team. They're like Washington's now an A team. You don't care. You just like it's an A team. They got Daniel, it's like Joe Burrow, and they got the defense. And Washington's going to go deep in the playoffs. I mean, I don't know who can stop Daniels, to tell you the truth. But that's what you do. You just try to look at what they are versus the label. Oh, they're the Giants or the Jets or the Bears. You don't give a fuck about that. That's got to get off your radar. Is it a good bet? And then that's what we're learning now that we've got it. Now we're going into week 9. They played 6 real games. The first 2 weeks don't count. And now you've got that. Oh, look who's here. Washington. Oh, we're locking Washington. They were like 16-1 against last year. You're betting against them every week. Now I'm locking Washington. The Bears are an under team. Oakland sucks again. I mean, Denver's now much, much better. Atlanta would be better once you get Penix in the game. New Orleans was good, and then they got a bunch of injuries. So you got to, why they're not using Jay Kaner is beyond me. I think because Rattler can run, but he can't throw. So that's what you're looking at. Carolina still sucks unless Andy Dalton quarters. Then they become an over team where they start to score more and still have no defense. So that's what you're learning. and you just take the name off. Who are we? Are we playing the Bears? No, we're playing this under team. And once you get to that level, you got it. And that's where I've been for a while. I was watching this movie. Um, it's a gambling movie. It's this girl who can like count cards and blackjack. And Kevin Costner looks like he's 12 years old in the movie. It had to be his first movie in the 70s. And the woman can count cards and she's good at it. And then Kevin Costner takes her to this guy who, is a professional and everything. And he teaches her about feeling the cards, not counting the cards. So she could feel. And then I said to myself, that's exactly what I do in football. I feel the pick. I know it's going to win. Obviously, how else can you go 10-0 and 11-1 in 2 weeks? It's all I can feel the game. I know Denver is going to probably beat Baltimore. Wouldn't surprise me. Shutdown defense, Bo Nix. They couldn't stop Winston. They're going to stop Bo Nix, who's 5 times better. But it's becoming a feel thing for me. Well, it always was. People would ask me, my buyers would say, well, yeah, I know it's a lock, but do you feel the game? Not just do you like the game, do you feel it? And there was one, when Carolina went to the Super Bowl, I played 5 locks a week for 7 weeks. I went 35 and I think 2 in my locks. I'd go 5-0 like every week. And then there was like 1 or 2 I'd miss. 35-2 over 7 weeks, picking 5 locks, feeling them, and they'd all win. It was unbelievable. But it was Cam Newton. I'd bet a lot on Carolina. But then I'm off of Carolina. See, that's the point. I'm on them. Then I'm off of them, and then now I'm on Joe Burrow over, Lamar over. Now I'm on Jalen Daniels, Mahomes. I mean, you've got to just, that's why when people ask me who my favorite team is, it's right now it's Washington. It's Kansas City, it's Washington, it's Cincinnati over. That's my favorite team. You can't have one in what I do. You've got to just be there taking you got to be adaptable. It was Frisco. They got a bunch of injuries. I'm not betting Frisco. I didn't take them against Dallas. I got off of Frisco. San Diego, I only play under. Denver, I like. Sean Payton's there, so now I like them. I mean, you just follow the goal. And anyway, that's kind of what it is. So now we have enough in to know, is Nebraska going to beat UCLA, Alabama, Georgia? Georgia plays Florida. Now we have enough to know how to play that game. We see what Tennessee is. We see what Kentucky is. Ole Miss, LSU. This is this year's team. And the same thing. We made a ton of money last year on LSU, betting them over every time. Because Daniels would give you remember we had the over against Alabama, LSU, Alabama, and they got it in the first half. They got it, and then they cheap shot at Daniels and concussioned him. Of course, Alabama gets away with it. There's never targeting or anything against them. Anyway, so that is what I have. 10 o'clock. I'm tired, so I'm not going to go on. Today was a longer day for me because I had to cook. I don't have to cook. I made like 6 chicken breasts, so I'm eating chicken breasts for the next couple of days. So I go from work to the pool. We had to work a little late, so I'm going to try to get out of work by 4:30, get to the pool, and get home, have dinner, and get on here about 6:30 or 7. But that'll be the key. And anyway, the only thing now holding us up on the picks are the injuries. I could pick every pro game right now, but I got to make sure who I got. Carolina's good with Dalton, not good with Steve Young over there. Same thing with New Orleans. It's a tough game. If it was Carr, it'd be a lock. But I don't have Carr. If I got to go with Spencer Rattler, I ain't touching that game. And I can't bet it under because Carolina's got a 35 defense. So you can't. What are you going to do? You can't trust Rattler. It's who do you trust? You can't trust him. What's downtown Detroit? Oh, no, it's close by. Um, it's about 10 minutes from where I live. I'm getting up. I've been getting up 7:45 when I've been off work, so I'd still kind of pretend I'm working and then come do the class. And now I've 7:30. Now it's like 7 o'clock. Figuring out how long it takes, and then I'll take a half-hour lunch. I don't need an hour. They have like a Bloomberg TV, so I ate lunch in front of the Bloomberg TV with all the idiots betting, having money in the stock market. They're making a big deal. Bitcoin was like 70,000 today, and I'm just going, it's worthless. It's toilet paper. Be careful with that. Well, it's night classes until Saturday, Sunday will be the normal morning classes. But even if I'm working remote, I can't really do a 10 o'clock class just in case. I can maybe do a 45-minute one on my lunch hour, but I don't know. I have to see. We'll have to be at work for a while. We got Thanksgiving coming up, so that'll be a nice weekend. And Christmas, we got Christmas off. I'll have to see if Daria is available then, and otherwise, I'll just maybe go to Vegas or something. Alex wants to meet in Vegas. Luke wants me to go to the Steeler game. We'll see. Have you been telling your new coworkers about metals? Yeah, that's what I was mentioning that earlier. I told the guy about, he was saying his wife wants to sell because it's so high and he thinks it's going to go down. This is a Keynesian, obviously. And I go, why would it go down? These are all derivatives that are manipulating the price and they're gone. And all the demand from bricks for the gold is forcing the price up. So this price is nowhere near. He says, well, I think it's overvalued. I go, overvalued? Are you kidding? It's not even close. The value should be 20,000. It's at 2780. How is it overvalued? Based on what? So this is a typical Keynesian who doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, can't back it up. But he's sure it's overvalued, even though we have no idea what the real value of gold is because it's done by derivatives. I'm talking physical in a free market, it's 20,000. So you can't say it's overvalued. If anything, it's way under because they keep manipulating the price down. Stephanie, I'm a gambler. I am betting 300 parlay 7 pick for 27,000. I like that. Now, keep in mind, don't forget to tip the dealer here. We going back to Atlantic City next month. Oh, that sounds like fun. I remember I went to Atlantic City when I was really young, and I thought there'd be football betting there, and there wasn't. I get there. I think I just turned 21, so it's in the early 80s. And I tell my bookie, and I'm going to bet in Atlantic City. So I go to Atlantic City and I go to the casino, one of the casinos. There's no football. There's no sports betting. What kind of fucked up city is this? There's no sports betting in Atlantic City. So I had to call my bookie and make the bet. But Atlantic City's nice. I mean, Vegas, I don't know what to do with Vegas and these resort fees. Oh, I can stay at Caesars for $85 Sunday to Thursday. Well, wait, it's really $180 because then they add on this resort fee, which is bullshit. And I don't even know where to eat because everything's so expensive there anyway now. I like the Stardust sign lighting up was the coolest thing, and I just the $3 steaks and the $15 buffets. Now it's $60 buffets to go to Caesars. What the fuck are they serving there? Caviar and filet. I mean, Jesus. Tip the for yeah. Don't forget to feed the horse. Don't shoot the golden goose. I'm Diamond Light plus free rooms, no fees. Well, I'll have to go with you, Stephanie. That's good. See, that's where they get you. But I don't want to. I don't play the slots, and when you bet football, I don't think there's much to the Diamond Elite. And then when you play poker, it's very little. So poker and sports, you get very little action towards that. They want the slot machines, the video blackjack, video poker. That's what they want. No slot stirrings will bust. No, can't do that. Bet your football, play your poker. I can give you poker lessons also if you want. I'm damn good at poker. I'm damn good at reading people and understanding the bet. The bet's to tell. If you looked at me, you would have no idea, but it's really the bet that tells what's going on in the hand. That's the tells your hand is the bet. Because I can sit there and I can do this. I can be so I'm in with the full house and I'll knock my stack over on purpose. And then people will think I'm bluffing, or I'll be real quiet. And people will think I'm bluffing. They'll call me, and then I turn over a full house. And they're like, oops, guess we didn't read you right. Yeah, I know you're looking at me, and you're trying to read me, so I'm going to give you fake tells. It's the easiest thing to do, just because you know what the tell is when you got a full house or when you're bluffing, so you reverse it, and nobody knows what you're doing. Titus, my birthday is on the 3rd this week. Gonna crush the sports. Well, happy birthday, Titus. We'll have to have a birthday cake for you. Ryan, you did. That's good. Sports bet ran my points playing 100, 200, 300 parlay Caesars online. So you did it on the sports betting, I see. Yeah, I don't do much online. Although I'm a killer online. I don't like online poker. I think they cheat at it. I know there was a few scandals where behind Phil Hellmuth fucking around behind, he can see everybody's cards. I don't trust any of those guys. And they're not even playing with their own money. They get money and they're gambling with somebody else's money. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. Well, good for you, Stephanie. Yeah, I would only bet at William. William Hill's got, like, if you would have made this bet at MGM, you would have won maybe 10,000. You wouldn't have won 17,000. Their odds suck at MGM. Please, nobody bet at MGM or MGM online or wherever that crap. I go down to MGM, play poker here in Detroit, and it's 13-10 for a 2-team teaser. It's fucked. It should be even money. You're trying to pick 2 games. Your odds are not that good unless you know my picks, but it's 2 teams. It should, they're 13-10. I look at a girl like, you're out of your fucking mind. I'm not paying 13-10 for a 2-team teaser. You got to be kidding me. Ryan, sold my crypto to get more silver. There you go. Yeah, crypto, it's not backed by anything. It's about to, I know it's up like 70,000 today. It's all bullshit. You don't want to be in bed with Larry Fink and the Russian mafia. I'll tell you that. There's no real demand. There's no real value. It's not backed by gold. It's digital. You don't even have it. Okay, it's going up. But do you know why? No, nobody knows why Bitcoin goes up or down. I can tell you why a Rolex goes up because of the demand. I can tell you the Mantle card goes up because everybody wants to make it. So as long as you have demand and it's in a free market, you can say it. And at least you get the card. I got the Mantle card. I'm wearing the Rolex. I got the gold chain. But you can't do that with um, tell me why Bitcoin goes up. Is it supply and demand? Did somebody buy? You have no idea. That's the problem with Bitcoin, and it's never money. So don't ever, to be money, it's got to be acceptable. And to be acceptable means I can go fly to Italy and go at the restaurant and say, I'm going to use my Bitcoin to pay for dinner. And they'd say, sure. Instead, what they say is, we don't take it. Well, if they don't take it, how can it be money? Money is the accepted thing. Everybody wants gold. Not a problem. So the demand for gold is so high, the price just keeps going and going. Do not worry, it's not going down. I don't know how it can go down. Every time they start doing the derivatives, you see the price go back up. Well, if the price was going down, it wouldn't come back up, would it? It would just keep sliding. But no, the BRICS are buying it. Because if you want to join BRICS, it's a gold-backed currency that's coming when the U.S. collapses, I think. And so when that happens, there's no you got to have gold to join BRICS to get into the BRICS gold-backed currency, which is coming. I'm sure that's hush hush because the U.S. will blow the hell out of whoever goes on a gold-backed currency or anything like they did with Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein. So I'm sure behind closed doors, Putin and Xi are laughing their ass off, but in public, we're not gold-backed currency. So that's what you got with that. Are you still accumulating gold? Much as I can, Bobby Bo. It's been hard. I haven't worked, but now I'm back to work and I'm making some good money. So we'll be buying gold if they have it. Absolutely. As much as I could eat. My goal is 100 ounces. My goal is now 1,000 ounces of silver and 100 ounces of gold. And the reason I say that, if silver goes up $100 and you have 1,000 ounces, do you understand you've made $100,000? It will be the easiest $100,000 you've ever made in your life. Silver at 30, now it's 34 an ounce. You can buy it for 36 or whatever. But you've already got ounces of it, right? So 1,000 ounces times $100 is $100,000. Mind-boggling. That's the difference between silver and gold. Gold, it's hard to get 1,000 ounces. You're not going to get 1,000 ounces. If you do, you're already a millionaire. But you shoot for 100 ounces and it goes up $100. You made 10 grand every 100. So you would have made 100 grand if you had 100 ounces and you bought it at 1,900 and now it's at 2,800. You would have made $900 times 100 ounces. You'd have made $90,000. But it's not an investment. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Hell yes, it's an investment. I still keep wondering about the whole tax gains thing. There's no tax gain. You don't have to worry about it. I showed an Andy Scheckman thing, and unless you sell a bunch of ounces, there's no capital gains tax. For metals, how will we handle taxes when we sell to the coin? There isn't any. If you sell like 10 ounces, there isn't any. There's so many. I'll show you the Andy Scheckman thing again. I got to find it. But it was clear that silver, you had to sell like 100 ounces or 50 ounces or something. And gold was like 25 or something. So if you sell 10 ounces of gold, there is no 1099. He read that. Now, will it hold? That's the way it is now. When gold hits 20,000 an ounce, is it going to be that? I don't know. But it's well worth it if you paid 2,200 for gold and it's 25,000. Do you really give a fuck about paying a little bit in taxes? Probably not. And the funny part is how they value the eagle versus the maple leaf versus the cougar. And in my mind, it's an ounce of gold. What do you mean? Why are they different values? It's an ounce of gold. An ounce is an ounce is an ounce. So maybe now they're fucking around if it's an eagle or a cougar or maple leaf, but soon there won't be. It'll. Oh, you got an ounce of gold. Gold's 10,000 an ounce. I'll give you 10,000 for it. I don't really see how they can differentiate the. Oh well, the maple leaf. We're not going to give you as much. It's crazy to see some friends and family still just floundering without a clue and have not purchased any metals. They don't believe the dollar will go out, or if it will, it won't go out right now. I've heard that one. Well, it's not going to go out right now. I mean, it's been since 1971. It hasn't gone out. I go, well, we haven't had a $36 trillion debt either. That's why it's going out. And then all the central banks getting rid of dollars to buy gold. What the fuck do you think that is? So people are they don't believe the dollar can go out. They don't understand it at all. They don't believe gold was price fixed, and now they've Basel 3'd it, and now it's not price fixed. They don't get that either. And therefore, those are the two key reasons. And the $36 trillion debt doesn't help paper money either, but it's really a lock. It's just going to go up and up and up and up. Nobody's selling it, and JP Morgan can't do the shorts. They can't do the put options because it doesn't work, and they're losing their ass on it. So nobody's selling gold. Gold has never gone down because nobody's selling it. Gold has always gone down because they did derivatives. So it's never been the market. Ryan, I will trade metals for goods, no taxes, I hope. I'll replay that Andy Shackman thing where he talks about taxes, and he basically says it's how many ounces you sell. So if you sell, I think it's 22 ounces of silver or something like that. So just sell 17 of them, right? You don't need to sell 22. You're not selling because there's nothing. What are you going to get for it? You do not want to sell your gold for this shit. So you're going to sell it for the BRICS gold-backed currency. We'll all take a trip to Russia. That's what you're going to sell it for. You're not going to sell it. You don't want to get back in the dollar. So in worst case, you need money for food or rent or something. You simply take an ounce and you get 3, 4, or 5 grand for it. And then you take the cash and you pay a bill that you need to, like the cash is just to pay the bill still in cash. But once it goes out, credit cards, you won't owe. Your house will be worthless in dollars. Everything will be worthless in dollars. We'll need the new dollar, and then that'll value it. And hopefully it'll be backed by gold. If it is not backed by gold, it's worthless, right? Because it's just toilet paper, monopoly money. This is just paper. There's no difference between this paper and this paper, except for this has a number and a president, and this has football information. Actually, this is probably more valuable. But that's the point. This has no value. The value comes in the gold backing it. So what'll have to happen, now what should happen, you ditch this money, you're the government, you come out with new money, okay, and our new money is going to be backed by gold and silver. That's how you do it. And then everybody's comfortable because you got gold backing the money. That's the point of it. But if the money isn't backed by gold, it's the same thing. CBDCs are worthless. New dollars not backed by gold, worthless. And we just keep buying more and more gold and silver. I mean, that's the whole point of it. Because everything will be worthless. So everything valued in dollars, your Picasso, your Rolex, goes to zero in dollars. But then when so now a gold-backed currency comes out, everything gets repriced in the gold-backed currency, which is fine. So your $500,000 house goes to zero in dollars, goes to maybe 10,000 in gold backed currency, but it's worth more than the 500,000 of bullshit dollars because that's gone to zero. So that's what happens. The asset is a good asset. The Rolex, the house, the Mercedes, the Mantle card, all keep the value because they get revalued in the gold. And the gold, of course, goes to the moon. It doesn't go to zero, but you know what goes to zero is Bitcoin because it's priced in dollars. That's what happens. No emotional attachment to any team. Uh, I mean, I like teams. I mean, I was always a big Steeler fan in the 70s and the Packers in the 60s. I think I was more a Lombardi fan. Um, and then Bill Walsh to the 49ers. So when the team's good like that, and the Giants with Lawrence Taylor, Dallas, Jimmy Johnson at Miami of the Hurricanes. I loved Miami when he was there because we're making a fortune. Um, but now when they're bad, I don't root for them because I'm not making money. So it's a very much a business decision who I like and whom I betting against. Oh, we're betting against Carolina. I just told you I was locking with Cam Newton. I was all over Carolina. He ain't there anymore. They suck. They're the worst team. I'm betting against them. That's how you gotta play it. It's you can be emotional like with Washington now or with Joe Burrow or Mahomes. You're emotional with them, but you're not betting them to bet them. You're betting them in good situations. Like last week against the Raiders, I had them, but you're not like this week. They're 8.5 over Tampa. Well, I'm not betting them because they're KC. I'm betting them because it's Mahomes, and I can go under 3 if I do bet them. I don't know if I'm going to bet them, probably, but that's what you're really looking at. So, yeah, it's a little you like that, but it changes. It goes from Mahomes to Burrow to now Daniels, and you go like that. Now the professor is an LSU fan. I was an LSU fan when Joe Burrow was there. I was an LSU fan a lot. I always liked the purple and the Saturday night in Baton Rouge. Made a lot of money on those games. Well, I don't mind LSU. Again, that's an over game. If LSU played Georgia now, it's an over game. Yeah, I like the team that makes me the most money, which is how I became a Brady Patriots fan a few years ago. But yeah, but I bet you're not a Patriot fan now. They always cash in. That's the point. That's the key is who's making you money. And that's it. I mean, and then that's why I'm not a Cousins fan. You don't make me money. Lamar, he always fucks me. And, I bet him over. I bet him over. And then I finally bet on him to beat fucking Cleveland with Jameis Winston. And he's nowhere. He fixes the game. And you're like, this is why you can't trust Lamar. You think Mahomes would have lost to Cleveland? No fucking way. They'd have killed Cleveland. Anyway, also with LSU, them and Ohio State, always been my teams because I've won a lot of money on them. And I like their brands and all that. Yeah, well, Oregon, we're making money. USC is a major disappointment. I haven't bet them, though. I never really bet this guy, or occasionally at Oklahoma when he was there, I bet a little, but I have more fun betting on Baylor over and TCU over and Texas Tech over. Much more fun doing that. But that's what you do is you find your team. You find you find the team and their niche. Are they unders or overs? And you go with it. Georgia under. How many times did we lock Georgia under a couple years ago? And it was like every week. Georgia's a 54, and they're playing Kentucky, and they're not going to get more than 30 points. Lock under, they win. They lock under, it was a joke. Great, the best defense I've ever seen with the decent offense, but they wouldn't really run the score up. They would just run it down your throat, put up 35, shut you out, and the over-unders in the 50s. So it doesn't. It's where's who are you over the under? Georgia was the best team, but I bet them under all the time. Um, so you find the team, but it changes every year. This year we like Gentry at Boise. Last year we were all over Ollie Gordon. This year he sucks. I don't know what's wrong with him, but he's probably injured and they don't really talk about it or something. Or Cam Rising, I loved Utah, but Cam Rising ain't playing. I ain't playing Utah. I don't want anything to do with them without Cam Rising. See, the star is the key. Van Dyke's hurt, he's out. Rising's hurt, he's out. It sucks. So now we got to find new quarterbacks that we can bet on. That's why I took Mahomes and big live bet on the Super Bowl against the Niners. Right, because you can trust them. That was the best thing that could have happened to you is that Frisco got the 10-0 lead, and this is where the people are idiots. Just like they don't buy gold because they don't know. Who's betting on Frisco against Mahomes? What, are you out of your mind? Same thing with Baltimore. Why is Baltimore favorite over Mahomes in the playoff game? Are you kidding me? Lamar's going to beat Mahomes. Yeah, okay, yeah, I believe that one. And we're getting points. I mean, that's a joke, but that's where we excel. We know the Mahomes. We know Lamar's not that good. Just like Caleb against Jaden Daniels. There's no way Caleb should have been a road favorite there. And it ended up, I think Washington, it was like each team was a 1. But you can see who the winner is. Jalen Daniels is 100 times better than Caleb. It isn't even close. He doesn't. You don't see him scrambling all around. He either makes really nifty runs, or he's throwing darts down the field. It's very, he's in control. Bo Nix is like that. Penix is like that. You know who ain't? Kirk Cousins. Jared Goff. You put pressure on him, he chokes. Stafford looks really good. Geno Smith. I don't know who he is. He fucking got 3 points against Buffalo. No, he got 10 against Buffalo. Really? Really? Against Buffalo at home, you can only – because you didn't have Metcalf, and Smith the Zombie is not very good. I agree, Professor. Those Big 12 teams be fun to bet overs on. Well, I locked 2 of them over last week. I had the Baylor game and the Texas Tech game over, and they both covered. Titus will tell you all about that. He had them. Lamar is the opposite. He cost me money. Well, Lamar's the only way you can bet Baltimore's over, like the Cincinnati. It's the only way you can bet it is over. You cannot bet Baltimore under, and you cannot bet on Lamar unless he's a big dog, to Cleveland or something. Riding the guy who cost me money in the Rose Bowl, well, yeah, but he got hurt in the game. He didn't really cost you the money. They were winning when he was playing. He still has not redeemed himself, though. Well, he's been hurt. He was out the whole year. He played one game against the high school team, and that was it. See, what bothers me is he had reconstructive knee surgery last year. That's why he was out. Why was he in practice thinking he was going to play? I mean, that was ridiculous. Then he gets hurt again, hurts his hand, now hurts his knee, and fucking, I mean, I don't see how he can get drafted. He probably will get drafted. The Florida State guy got drafted, Travis. How the fuck I don't remember. I think he's on Philadelphia or somebody. How the hell? No, he's on the Jets. How the fuck do you draft that guy? He can't walk. I mean, it's one thing to sign him as a free agent, but to draft him? My God. No, it's like a year and a half. It'll be 2 years this Rose Bowl. Bobby, he hasn't played since there. He sat out all last year and played like one game this year, and then got hurt again with the Gatorade and then hurt his knee. So, yeah, he's just, I don't know if he's injury prone. He's gotten injured a lot. I think he was a Texas guy. I think he was going to Texas. and then he was back up, so he went to Utah. But yeah, you look around, you see all these Texas Tech and TCU quarterbacks. Like Louisville's got Tyler Shaw, who was at Texas Tech, transfers to Louisville. Houston Card at Purdue is from Texas. Malik Murphy went from Texas to Duke. They're looking good. So the backups leave. If they're not starting, they take the ball and go home and cry, and then they and off you go. And but you just keep an eye on them, right? And that's why we look for the hot hand. Right now, it's Dylan Gabriel at Oregon. Not sure why he left Oklahoma to go there, but I think they were switching offenses. So look at the shit offense they got now. Feels like that Utah coach has been there for ages. Yeah, he's been there 25 years. Well, the TCU coach, Goldsmith, I think, was there like 25 years. And then he finally retired a couple years ago. William Hill is a casino, Stephanie, like MGM or Caesars. So it's a sports book. It's not a casino. It's a sports book. It's in Vegas. If you ever go to Vegas or if it's in Atlantic City, I highly recommend it. It's got the best odds. I was there a few years ago. I'm betting college teasers even. No juice, even 100 to win 100. I was in heaven because normally you're at least paying 11 to 10. So I was really rolling with that. And if you played the pro was 11 to 10. So they gave you good odds to get you. It's very, very good. BetMGM, the odds are terrible. As I just said, William Hill was even money on college teasers. MGM's 13 to 10. It means you bet 130 to win 100. William Hill, you bet 100 to win 100. Because you're going to lose some bets. You don't want to be paying the extra $30 in juice. And that's what gets into your profits. So you're looking for the best odds that you can get, a 10 or maybe 11 to 110 to win 100. You don't want to pay 130 to win 100. It really, because you're going to pick losers, and then so you win one and lose one, you're really in trouble because you lost 130, and then you win 100, you're down $30 because of the juice. So that's why you don't want to play there. By the way, I saw Humpty Dumpty. He's not listening to our fasting advice. He looks more round than last year on the sideline. Yeah, isn't he terrible? I thought he looked a little bit thinner, but yeah, he's in big trouble. We'll see. They beat Michigan, so we'll go. We'll probably beat Minnesota this week. You're welcome, Steph. Yeah, I'm full service teacher. But at least he got the over on our over under 6 months for him to live in that. Yeah, he's surviving somehow. Well, it's like the dollar, right? We know the dollar's going to crash. We just don't know when. We know Humpty Dumpty's going to have a massive heart attack. We just don't know when. And you can't. Well, he's not going to have one. He's only 500 pounds, but he won't have a heart attack. The dollar's not going to collapse. It's just got a $36 trillion debt. Not a problem. Barely an inconvenience. It's funny. Well, maybe he'll meet us at Capitol Grill. So Titus is going to meet us at Capitol Grill. He can buy us dinner. Titus, Jesus fucking Christ, Titus. That's like it's the huge part is, Titus. It's tax free. So it's like you made $25,000 because you don't pay tax on the 18 grand. That would be exciting collecting that ticket. I remember when I won all that money on the Florida State championship, hitting the 11 and 10 team teaser. I'd go back and I would like cash 10 tickets And then I'd cash 10 more. And the lady's like, you can cash them all now. And I go, no, I'm having too much fun cashing, give me 1,500, give me $2,000 and coming back, cashing more. It was so cool to cash the tickets. That's where the buzz comes in, is when Titus goes to the cashier to get the money. He'll be like up here, his feet he'll be 6 feet off the ground. Give me the money. He'll have that big smile, 18 grand. But be careful, Titus, when you cash it. People will be watching you. So keep it a low profile, which I'm sure you will. And have her count it, but cover it. Don't let anybody see she's covering it. I hate to see something happen to you leaving the cage with all that money. Maybe have security walk you out to your car or something. They'll do that for that kind of money. Anyway, so looking for another big week in the pros for sure. College, I got to be careful taking Navy against Notre Dame. I mean, it works in the pros. In the college, not necessarily. Notre Dame got 3 turnovers right away. It fucked us up, but that's where I'm getting hurt, is taking that. But I had a great Saturday, 4-1 in locks. So I was 8-2 in my locks last week. Fucking Baltimore. You got to watch those fixed games. That's why I like the over-unders better, because they don't necessarily fix the over-unders. In a teaser, you'll beat the fix. It's when they fix them, and like the Carolina game, it had to be fixed. It was over. The over-under, I think, was 41, and they scored with 10 seconds left, 28-14. It was a 42. Now they lost. Now I had locked Denver, and then I played one teasing the under to 48. So that's the beauty of the teaser. They never can fix the teaser. They can only fix the line, which is what they do quite often, I can see. Anyway, that's about it. So I'm tired. Tomorrow we'll get more into, I'll update my post numbers. If you need me, just email me. www.teaserking.com. Go to the homepage. You get my email. You got the picks there. Free pick I gave you. It's Denver plus 15.5. And with Nebraska down to a half against UCLA, that's a good one. So those two are your free play. I've been kind of bad on my free plays, although I'm hitting all my locks, so I think I should keep being bad on my free plays. But Eastern Michigan losing to Akron, are you kidding me? Anyway, I'm a little tired, so I'll go call it a night. I'll update my pros and go from there. So anyway, it's Tuesday. I don't think I'm playing anything tomorrow. I like Jacksonville Liberty over, but I'm not. I think it's a little high, 63. If it was in the 50s, I'd play it. And then Western Kentucky, Kennesaw State. They just fucking beat Liberty. I don't know what to do with it. I would think Western Kentucky blows them out, but I'm staying away. They're all out of sync. And then I don't know if I'll play the Jet game Thursday. It seems Houston doesn't have receivers and the Jets don't have a coach. Probably will watch that. You can't force bets. You look at a game, you like it, off you go. Like last week, I took the Ram Viking game over, and it won. And but if you don't like the play, don't play it because it's Thursday or when. Or oh yeah, there's a game, I'm going to bet it. Do you like it? No, but it's on TV, so I'm going to play it. And I don't care about the World Series. I've never been so turned off by, like, I could give a shit with the World Series. It's so stupid. I don't know. Oh, Tony hurt his shoulder. Oh, poor baby. I could care. I mean, it's so boring. I can't watch it. especially with football on. Anyway, so watch your gold and silver. Look for them. Let's see if we got 2,800 yet. Let's see if we got 2,800. I can't get it. Oh, here we go. 27,77,7. It's a full. It's 4 sevens. I like how they put the ad right over the chart. 27, and we got 34, 30 silver. So we can't get it. I think once we get it to 35, we'll get it to 45. And this, it's close. Let's get 2,800. Well, gold's going to go down because it's too high. Yeah, it's price fixed, morons. People just don't understand what price fixing is. It's mind boggling. You're welcome, Bobby Bo. Nice to see you. Well, I'm glad you liked it. Ohio State, Penn State should be an interesting one. I think the Buckeyes. Yeah, well, Allard, the quarterback of Penn State's hurt. He'll probably play, but he'll play hurt. And I got a feeling Ohio State kind of looked past Nebraska to Penn State. They did lose to Oregon, so I'm surprised they lose to Oregon and then barely beat Nebraska. I think you're going to get their best. Although Penn State's a pretty good team, so you got to be careful. All right, everybody, have a good night. I need some rest. I need recharge my battery. That's the one thing I learned being an INFJ and being stoic. You need to recharge the battery, and I can feel it at work. Like I need to recharge. Like now I need to recharge. All right, everybody, have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow. www.teaserking.com. What can I say? 21-1 in the pros the last 2 weeks. That's all. What else can I say? And Mr. Titus there. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.